みきよなもとみかもねねねねのねなとみねぜ
hmm
Hi guys.
Oh, you're doing
Oh,
it. Okay, no
whoa.
worries.
Okay. Never
You can do it
mind.
because I did this
You
at the
got
last
it.
two.
Hey, you got it, sister. Don't worry about it.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Now What podcast with Jada and Jemeryas. It's the podcast where we talk about life, love, politics, and everything that has to do with being 20 years old.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, on to the video. Yay!
Recently, I've been reading a book called All About Love by Bell Hooks, right?
Okay.
I've been reading it and I've been listening to the podcast, and I've been having this ongoing feeling and brain dump about love because it just feels as if in this generation, and this is what Bell Hook talks about in her book of there is a lack of love. And it's
Mm.
crazy to live in a society where there's a lack of love, but there's love being like put in your face every 2 seconds. You listen to music about love. You watch movies about love. You talk about love. You dream about love. You write about love. It's so romantic and it's so full of this hopelessness, right? But in real life, in society, there's no real love. There's so many options. Everyone's scared to be vulnerable. Everyone's scared to settle down with one person out of the fear of missing out on something else,
Oh.
as if the person in front of you is not good enough. So we have social media, we have so many options. We have social media, we have dating apps where you can see who's available in another country. So now all of a sudden you don't want to date in your own fucking country, right? A victim. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I mean, um,
The passport, Tinder passport.
the Tinder passport. There's like the Hinge thing. There's the Raya thing. Like, and it's just so crazy because it's like there's always going to be someone hotter than your partner. There's always going to be someone smarter than your partner. There's always going to be someone more wealthy and da 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 da. But because there's so many options and because so many people are just afraid to be vulnerable and like care for one person, it's like the grass is always greener. So they keep looking and they keep going to find this version of a person that they want to love who either doesn't exist or is an amalgamation of multiple people,
Hmm.
you know? And I guess that's why people do poly. But at least they're
Oh.
able to be vulnerable and settle down even if it's multiple people, at least there's an agreement there rather than being with one person and then cheating or just like leading them on.
I hate that. Like leading somebody on. Like I'm a
Mhm,
very I agree with everything you're saying.
mhm,
Which, by the way, like I see myself, which is probably very naive or childlike, but like see myself as like a Charlotte York. Did you watch Sex and the City? Yeah, I'm very much a Charlotte, and I
mhm,
have this like fantasy in my head of like what I want and like what a relationship is. And we were talking about this one day, like the first time I lived in New York, about relationships and like how I have this like monogamous, is that the word?
mhm.
Monogamous like view on life. And I was kind of made fun of it by you and Kayla for like that outlook because it's just like, why would you settle for one person? Maybe that's not like what you were trying to say, but that's how it was received on my end. It was like, why would you settle for one, not settle for one person, but like, why would you
I said this
not, that's not
because I know
exactly
for a
what
fact
was
I've
said.
never believed in
That's
like in polygamy
not
for myself.
what you said. I'm just saying
Okay.
that's how it was received.
Okay.
But I know for me and how my beliefs work is that I can't entertain more than one person at a time because
Hmm.
it's just like it's that leading on thing. Like if I'm saying like I like you or I'm invested in you or like I'm trying to get to know you, spend time with you, quality time, whatever, then I just want to get to know you. And if you want to go talk to other people, then like that's fine. You just won't talk to me because I'm like I'm
Oh,
just very what?
I just did the clock it and I hate
Oh,
that.
Oh,
I
really?
love it for the queer community, but because it's so popular now, I just don't even want to. Whatever. Go ahead.
No, no, no. But like, I think like that part about leading on, but I also think like in terms of settling and why people entertain like multiple people at the same time is because of that fear of settling. Like, oh, the grass is greener over here, but it's like the grass is green wherever you're gonna water it. Like nobody's perfect. And so
Thank
like
you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't understand. Like, when it comes to me, if I cannot talk to multiple people at the same time.
that's
If
fair.
I'm like, getting to know a few, sure, getting to know. But when it comes to like I'm starting to grow feelings, I'm starting to talk to a person more and more and more, I'm honing in on that one person. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I am not going to give the same, I physically can't give two people the same amount of energy.
Hmm.
I can't give a person 60% and the other person 60%. Also, like obviously one is going to falter, right? So I
Hmm.
don't understand how people, and maybe it's just a mindset thing, but how people can do that. And to be fair, I've dated a lot of people, right? When I was in New York, I was a serial dater. I was queen of dating. I loved dating and it was fun going on dates with people, getting to know people. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be girly. It's supposed to be flirty, right? Carefree. And that's what I did. In terms of relationship, it never got to that because one, either they couldn't commit, right? They couldn't commit. The grass is always greener. Whatever, whatever, whatever. I wasn't what they were looking for. And if I was what they were looking for, they just wasn't ready for the type of commitment that I could provide. Or two, um, I just have standards. Listen, I'm
You
a
just have
princess. I'm a
standards.
real life princess. I'm not, I understand. I'm like I was talking to my dad about this today, how we speak as if we come from privilege, and which we do. But I am a princess. So I'm not going to settle for someone. And if it's getting serious, I'm not going to settle for someone who's not going to add to my life. If
Yeah.
I'm if my life is here and then you're actually bringing my quality of life down with stress and headaches and heartbreaks, oh, absolutely not. I'm not actually just going to like maybe I'll entertain it just for the fun of it because I'm bored,
Yeah.
right? But I'm not going to actually get serious with a person who brings my quality of life down because I'm so peaceful without it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I don't know because I don't know. What do you
Can I
think? Because
ask
I
you a
saw your face.
question?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say bring the quality of my life down, like what do you mean? Because I know people who will like say, let's say like they'll start dating while like one of them is in medical school. And you know, like when you're a resident, you're not making any money, like you're essentially poor. And so, essentially poor. You are poor. And so like but they tend to make it work and they end up getting married. They have like this really beautiful, happy life, da 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 da. In terms of that, is that bringing your quality of life down? Like if they're not able to take you out to eat, and but you see that they're working
No, I
toward
don't mean financially. Like,
okay. So what do you
no,
mean
I
in
don't mean
terms of
that. Like, I'm not.
quality?
I'm not. Well, like, would I love to marry up? I mean, who doesn't? Who wouldn't want to marry up, right?
Hmm.
But I just mean in terms of headaches,
Hmm.
right? Having to deal with someone's incompetent son, weaponized incompetence,
Hmm.
heartbreaks, like cheating, or can't give me what I'm looking for in terms of a partner emotionally, spiritually, and physically, right? And mentally. So that's what I mean by quality of life. Because if I can be by myself without someone's son stressing me out, I would much rather that than like be fully committed to a man who does nothing but stress me out.
Hmm.
And just for the sake of being in a relationship and not being alone. Oh, absolutely. I would much rather be alone. I would much rather be alone. And that comes from a girl who is a hopeless romantic. That comes from a girl who like dreams of that fairy tale princess, happily ever ending type of love,
Two
that
Charlotte
real
Yorks.
love. Huh?
Said two Charlotte Yorks talking right now.
I am a Carrie Bradshaw and a Charlotte York with a splash of Samantha.
Oh gosh. Okay, she's the entire cast, basically. The entire cast.
Except Miranda. Oh
You're
God, I can't
very
stand
hyper
her.
independent. That's what you like.
Yeah, but Miranda too, like. Miranda's like she's like borderline gay type of like hyper independent, but she is exactly she is gay.
The
So
actress
it's
who plays
so
her is gay.
no, and just like that, she's gay and just like that.
Really? I didn't watch that show, even though
Yeah.
I was in it.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. Like the way she moves about her relationships is very much mask.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's not, I'm not, like, I am masked sometimes, but I want to be very feminine. I want to be like little, you know?
Oh,
I,
she's
I
just a
like,
small
I
petite
remember
girl.
when I was in Costa Rica with Michael, it was like I turned my brain off. I turned my brain off when he was there because he took care of everything.
Mhm.
He spoke in Spanish. He ordered everything. Like he was in like the directions. He like my brain
Mm.
was. I was like la da 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 da, and and generally that's what I want because I'm never able to be in that position. So when I can find someone who can do that for me, oh, I'm happy.
Wait, okay, so am I allowed to talk about Michael or
No, you
no?
can talk about Michael.
Okay, so then why will you? And I feel like we've had so many conversations about him in particular, and then I feel
Mhm.
like I've gone from like a not an I hate Michael standpoint, but kind of just like a
Why do you hate Michael? Continue your
guys,
sorry.
Jada.
Continue your question. Continue
No,
your
I just
question.
want to talk about this because, like, I don't understand, and maybe this is just me and my beliefs, right? Is that I just don't understand y'all's relationship because it's everything but dating. But, like, I don't know how much I can say about him, but, like, he has his own thing going on, and, like, during that time period when, like, you were staying at his house during New Year's and da 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 da, all that stuff there was stuff that he was going through or had going on in his life, relationships, whatever. And I was just so confused because I was like, Jada, like you really like this boy, but like it just seems like I don't
Wait.
know. Yes, like
Yeah, no, because like is when it comes to Michael, I think the only time I've ever romantically liked Michael was in the very beginning of our friendship, and that ended very quickly, right? When we started talking, we met on Tinder, and then we just were flirting and we were chatting and whatnot, but then we decided that it wasn't anything romantic there, right?
Mhm.
And he's very much like a bachelor. We're 9 years age difference. He doesn't want to get married. He doesn't want a serious relationship. All he wants is like someone. I don't even know what he wants.
The benefits of a
He
relationship without the relationship title. I think that's why he
yes,
wants
but
a
no,
relationship.
because even that's still too serious. He's really good at playing boyfriend. But me and Michael have such a special friendship to the point where it's like people don't understand it because we're attracted to each other. We are straight, right? And we get along very well, but there will never ever be anything romantic there, right? He truly is just one of my best friends. In terms of our relationship, I think because we both um, realize that we want different people first and foremost. I would like love Michael to I die like to the day I die, but I don't see myself marrying Michael and vice versa. I don't see myself being in a long-term relationship with Michael, vice versa. I just he is truly just like such a really good friend. And he's always there for me and he does the most for me. He's great. He's freaking amazing. In terms of our physical relationship, yes, we were platonic friends who were also hooking up. And that's not even
To this
platonic.
day or no?
No, 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 we cut that off.
Okay. Okay.
We cut that off. Yeah. We cut that off. We decided like it's just best to be platonic friends and just being in each other's lives. And it's so healthy that every time he would see himself, well, in the past when he was dating girls, I took a step back because I don't want the girl to get uncomfortable by our friendship. And I completely understand that as a girl myself. So
Yeah.
when he started dating again, I took a step back. We would talk to each other here and there, but it was never anything like as close as we are, and vice versa. Like he hears all about my boy drama, I hear about his girl drama. We give each other advice, but it's never anything malicious there. We genuinely are just like really, really good friends. I don't know.
That's what was confusing to me because I was just like, you would say, maybe they weren't together, I don't know, but like you would say, oh, he has a girlfriend, and
Mhm.
then you guys would be doing your thing. So I was like, wait, why?
Wait, no, we're not putting that into the energy. We're not putting that out there. We're not
Okay.
saying that he has a girlfriend and I'm like sneaking around with him. That's not what happened. You're not going to say that.
I
That is
don't know.
not what
That's what I,
happened.
again,
But
all
that's
what
not
I
what I'm
was
okay, I
receiving.
hear what you're I hear that, but that's not what happened and we're cutting that there because that never happened.
So, okay.
Never happened. Never. I'm not that type of girl.
That's what I was saying. I was confused. I was genuinely confused by that.
Mm-mm.
I was like,
Mm-mm.
what is happening
Mm-mm.
here?
And we're cutting that. We're cutting that mindset there. We're not. No, I'm not that type of girl ever. I never
Really?
have. I never will be.
That's what I, but I wasn't even mad at you, even if that was the case. I wasn't more so, I
But
was not mad
it
at you
was
at
never
all.
the case.
Okay.
Never, ever,
Okay.
ever, 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 ever. Mm-mm.
I love that. Okay.
I don't know. It's just, and it's great because we just had this conversation about like what he's looking for, and he's just like, I think I'm just done dating. And I'm like, do you? He's gonna be a bachelor forever. That's just who he is. But me, I'm looking for, is it left or right?
Girl, I don't know. I'm not going there.
I think it's your left hand. Yeah.
Probably.
I'm looking for a ring. I want to be married. I want that. I am a sucker for it. But it's just so sad because I feel like I'm taking over this podcast. I'm sorry, but
No,
I
you're not.
just love
I'm
love.
very interested in this conversation. I don't, I've never, I've only had one relationship, so I can't even speak on this. So,
I've never had a relationship. I've had Bogdan, but we
wait.
don't talk about that.
Ah, I stop. I love him so much. I
Okay,
love him so
moving on.
much.
We're
You
moving on.
are so
Moving on.
why?
Moving
But
on.
to be fair, uh, I only met him once. I only hung out with him once, and it was just so cute. I'm just such a lover boy. Love it.
No, I love that for you.
I
I love that you love him. No,
love
he was a great guy. But I'm just
it.
saying that I in this world of um people not being able to be vulnerable and like actually open themselves up to the possibility of love and romance, as a person who's so open, it makes me feel so insecure and it makes me feel like something's wrong with me because it's just like, why has no one ever wanted that with me? Or if they have, I understand that again, I have standards, but the ones that I actually want, it's and they're always just like they just want to go and they want to like hook up with other people. They can never truly commit themselves to me, right? But then at the point when they're ready to commit themselves, I'm already out of the game. I'm already done with their shit. I'm done with their shenanigans. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Now you want to come back? I'm done. And now all of a sudden they're ready to go back. And guess what? They end up with the girl after me because I primed them for relationship. I
Mm,
primed them for the relationship. They couldn't commit. I take a step back finally, and now all of a sudden they have this desire to want a relationship. They can't get to Jada, so then they all automatically always date the girl right after me. It happens like fucking clockwork, and I'm truly sick of it. I truly am sick of this shit. But I was talking to someone, and I forgot who I was talking to, and they were saying how it has nothing. Who else do I talk to about stuff? My father. And he was saying, then he was saying how like that has nothing to do with me, and I need to separate what they have going on with my worth and how I feel about myself. And I'm like, you know what? That's so true. I just, even though it happens like clockwork, I make the man better for whoever else. That has nothing to do with me.
but that's like so crappy that like you serve as somebody's lesson and they end up becoming better for it. Like it's just like, why do I have to be traumatized because you
Yeah.
couldn't figure your own stuff out? Not saying everybody has their faults, everybody has their own things to like work through, da 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 da, whatever. However, comma, if you know that you are not ready for a relationship, again, it's that leading on thing. Why would you? put that in the air or kind of like dabble this carrot in front of somebody's face and be like, oh yeah, this is the potential, da da da. And then the second you see something better, it's like, oh, gotta go, gotta blast. Like, am I not good enough for you to change? Like, was this not worth changing for? It just makes people feel unappreciated and it makes people jaded and bitter. And I understand why people have cut off dating in their lives, you know?
The thing is, I can't like I I think no matter like regardless of all of the shit that I've been through in terms of dating and relationships, I don't think I've ever turned bitter. I think all of the guys that I've dated, not one person I'll look at and be like, all of the real ones, all of the real situationships that like lasted a while, every single one of them, I don't look at them negatively, regardless of how it ended or how they treated me or how I treated them. I don't look at them I don't look at them negatively. I'm trying to think of anything if there's any one person that I think negatively of, but
It
no
is
one.
what it is, though.
I just like regardless of everything, I still have love in my heart for love in general, right? I've been through some bad things in terms of situations and sexual assault and whatnot, but that doesn't like it's never it's always been just well, just wasn't my person. On to the next.
That's so shitty. I'm sorry that happened to you. Sexual assault is never fun. It's never a fun topic.
Of
Especially,
course not, but this is what we're here for. We're here to talk about the hard things, right?
yeah. Did that change your
But
perspective on dating or like who you?
mm-mm, mm-mm. I am smarter now with who I bring into my presence, but sometimes you don't even know until it's too late, right? You can't like I'm not gonna punish any new person for something that someone else did,
Yeah.
right? Granted, I still have it in the back of my head, but I'm not gonna punish someone else for that, right? I'm not gonna bring baggage and trauma into new situations because everyone's different. And some women don't get hurt or know who this person is until years later,
Yeah.
right? So it's not even the fact that I didn't know him that well, it was more just he just was that type of person. And I would much rather him have shown it to me now than like us potentially getting serious
Yeah.
and then he shows it to me later when we're already involved and I'm attached.
But like
And
that's
then
the
I lost friends after that situation.
mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say.
I lost friends because I was friends with three guys
Mm-hmm.
during COVID. And after I told them what happened and I went through my like depressive state, I think I went through that how I don't know how long that depressive state was. I think it had to been like a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you came and we drove down to Florida. And I think that was the start of my healing process. I think I was honestly more hurt about the losing of friends who I thought was there for me than the actual
The
sexual
three
assault.
guys I met, right? We're talking about
Yeah,
the
the
three guys
ones that
I met.
lived
Yeah.
across like down the street. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, 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 cool, cool, cool.
So I think that whole situation, I was more hurt about, yeah, losing the friends than being sexually assaulted. Because I'm
What?
like, granted, you guys are three straight guys, and we've been best friends for how long? We are always at each other's house because we live a block away.
Mhm.
I'm there for you guys when you guys are going through your shit. You're usually there for me when I'm going through my shit. But this one big thing, you're cutting me off because you don't like my emotions. Crazy, no?
But we live in a male-centered society and like punish women for
I was always like, why did you do this? Why'd you go meet him? Why were you even talking to him? Why
yeah,
did it? I'm like,
like you're the problem here.
that's actually crazy that you're questioning the victim
But
as to
that's what
why I was
everybody
in the situation I was in. No, I was talking to a guy for a while and we hit it off. And we like honestly the night was just so simple. Like we were just at his house. It was just he was cooking for me. We were watching a movie. It was chill. I was gonna go home right after the
Mhm.
dinner. And then it happened. Like he tried to he tried to get there and I
Yeah.
didn't want to get there. Because I think we had gotten into an argument right before that and I just didn't want to get there. I didn't want to do it with him. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna eat and then I'm gonna go home. I'm not in the mood. And it was our and to be fair, it was our we had never done anything prior. So it was his first time actually making a move and
Mhm.
I was rejecting it. And then yeah,
And
did
so
too
he couldn't
much.
take
It
he
wasn't rape. Oh my God, don't make it wasn't rape. It was not rape. It was just like you thumbs up.
Oh wait, I did not mean to do. Oh,
It was
did,
not rape.
yeah.
It was not just, it was like, it was assault. It was too much. I
Mhm.
said no multiple times. Homie kept going. I had to, get buck.
Friend, I don't want to hear this. Not
Oh,
not a
okay.
bad, not in a bad way.
Okay, no
It's just
worries.
like
Don't, we can change the
so no no no
topic.
no no no. It's not even in a bad way. It's more so that thing that's like because I know you, it's like different. And
Okay.
it just hits way too close. And like, oh my God. You're like a unicorn to me. Like you're so precious. And like the fact that somebody would like, I don't know, like what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Not you, but
Yeah,
like
I know.
them. Like I just it's so disheartening to hear. And if anything, you are my blood, but like it's very personal for me, you know?
Yeah. 1 in 3 women.
That's the stick.
1 in 3 women.
Um, what a somber note. I think that sexual assault is never funny, and I think that victim blaming is even awful, but also, not, but also, I think it just comes part of being in a patriarchal society and
Hmm.
and being so male centered that and I don't want to say it, but like this just kind of happened recently in our own circles where like people justify men's behavior and somehow it's always the woman's fault. Like, oh, well, you were doing this, I heard, or like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done this. But it's always just like, well, no, I think it's respecting somebody's boundaries and saying, like, hey, short story before, but even as a kid, I knew that I got in trouble once about inappropriately touching a girl and as a kid in elementary school and like it never registers in your head like this is wrong, but like from that point it was like, oh my gosh, this is wrong. Like this is like don't do something like this. And I think that that was probably it's sad that it was handled that way because like oh my gosh, how many like young black boys go through something like this? But like non-black boys kind of get away with like, oh, they're just boys, boys will be boys. But it's like besides the point, it's just like I'm glad
Absolutely.
that I learned that lesson of kind of just like respecting people's boundaries in that way. Clothes, we talked about clothes, but like when it comes to intimacy and all that stuff, like it's just like a hey, no, no
Yeah.
touch.
And a lot of the times it's a power play with when it comes to men and straight men, and that's why after losing these friends, even though like I still have so many straight male friends, but I'm still like wary about how close I get to straight men because at the end of the day, not saying all of them, but it's kind of ingrained in a lot of them to think women are objects, right? And it's really hard to keep those straight male, straight women, or just straight male and women friendships because sometimes straight men don't look at women as people or just friends. There's always like a underlying wanting of something else, like whether that be a relationship, whether that be sex, whether that be anything. It's not true companionship, which is, I'm not going to say real, but it's a lot of the times it's really hard to find true companionship there because again, there's that sense of just like maybe she wants me, maybe she wants to fuck at some point. I'm gonna wait for this guy to slip up so I can slide through, right? It's never real. It's always like,
There's no genuine
um,
intention.
yeah, there's another intention behind it, or just whatever. But that's why it's so different. That's why I love Michael so much and I big him up so much because although we did have our relations, but it's never been anything more than that for us, it's always been okay, we're great friends, but then there's this like other thing on the side that's also really good. Have I ever told you how I introduced that, like how I met Michael? I'm pretty sure I
Mm.
have.
Did
But
your
one
dad know
time,
about Michael?
huh?
Does your dad know about Michael?
Yeah, he does. He
Okay.
knows like every time I went to New York, I would stay at Michael's house.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. And then he knows I went to Costa Rica with Michael.
Oh,
Also, I'm grown. So, whatever.
okay.
So, me and Michael met, also for the viewers, me and Michael met on Tinder. Me and my two friends, Ariana, who's my best friend, and our close friend Abby, we had a Tinder together. And it was one black girl, one white girl, one Spanish girl, all beautiful, but all different races, right? So we're beautiful in our own race, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
but beautiful overall. And so we were like matching with swiping with everyone. I think we got like 400 matches in a few hours, maybe like definitely less than a day, right? And we were kind of tallying up to see, okay, choose a girl. And we were doing this social experiment of like
I remember this.
which
Yes.
race is majority of the population go towards. And we did Florida and New York because I was living in New York.
Yeah.
And I think I got like and it's crazy to say, I think I got like out of the hundreds we got, and then we got banned the next day. It didn't last too long, but
Yo,
I think I got like four matches.
that's
I
so.
think four people, and even Michael. Michael first chose Ariana. Michael chose Ariana first, and then he was like, "But give Jada my number." And then he was like, "I only chose Ariana because she looks like my ex." And me and Ariana talk about it all the time, but I only got like four or five matches out of like 400. And so it goes to show like like dating as a black woman and just like just this whole preference
Yeah.
of you could literally be a drop. I'm not calling myself drop dead gorgeous, but you could literally
You
be a
are.
drop dead gorgeous dark skinned girl, but then still play a second fiddle to a basic looking white girl. And my friend Abby is not a basic. She's
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
gorgeous white
Yeah.
girls I've ever seen, right? But I'm just saying in general, they will always, a lot of the times, I'm gonna say always, a lot of the times choose basic looking, lighter skinned girls because of their skin complexion and always pass over like a beautiful, beautiful dark skinned girl and won't look at her way because of her skin complexion.
Yeah.
Crazy. Dating as a black girl is insane. Either you're looked over or or you're fetishized.
Mhm.
It's insane. And it just like I don't know.
So how do you feel about like show? Because as soon as you said that, I like imagined that show, Pop the Balloon or Pop whatever, Pop Balloon or whatever.
Yeah,
And
with
like
Arnell.
yes, and like as soon as you walk in, like everybody just pop like you out of those four. It's like take you to your entire like how do you feel? What separates preference from something like that, right? Because it's like you prefer to date somebody with money versus somebody without money. Like, but the person without money could be a better person than the person with money. So like
Yeah.
what is
Oh,
good preference versus bad preference? How do you
so
feel
so
about that?
there's so there's a preference versus a prejudice, right? So you can prefer someone taller, but that doesn't mean you're prejudiced against shorter people. It means you prefer someone taller, but you will still date a shorter person, right? Prejudice is I only date tall people and I will never look at a short guy, right?
Yeah.
So everyone has a preference. It's okay to have a preference, but
Yeah.
it becomes bad when it's a prejudice, when it becomes like, okay, I'm not even looking in your direction. I don't care who you are as a person. I'm not looking in your direction, right?
Hmm.
And it's so common when it comes to people and they're dating, especially when it comes to race. Who, I don't, I think it's me as a person who I will date any race as long as they're attractive to me, as long as they're a good person, and
Yeah.
as long as they treat me very well and upgrades my life.
Yeah.
And we already talked about the dating up situation, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
not stressing me out. Um, yeah, I would date any race as long as physically they look really good to me and they're a good person. I'm
Yeah.
prejudiced when it comes to looks,
Yeah.
you know? Not in terms of race, but just like I like good looking people, and that's not a bad thing. I like good looking people.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but I
beauty
have
is so
dated someone
subjective,
who I
though.
don't find attractive, huh?
I said beauty is so subjective though,
So
because you have
subjective.
brought guys home where I'm like,
Your quest brought guys home is crazy to me.
no, that's how I meant
I know
T-boy.
what you mean. I know, I'm listening.
No, and I was like, but like
Yeah,
beyond, we
it's not
can
a
get into
prejudice. Like
right.
as long as they're a good guy, they make me laugh, and
Exactly.
they're generally just like a really good person, then like granted, I would prefer to date someone more attractive, but if this person's like really checking off other boxes,
Their beauty or that
it makes them
supersedes.
more attractive.
Yes,
It
yes,
makes them more attractive. It's like there are times where I would be so infatuated in limerence with a man, right? But he's just like his personality is just like outstanding and it just made him so attractive. But then when you're out of it and you really take a step look, you take a step back, you know,
yeah.
you're just like, okay, wait, no, he's not really my type anyways, but he had a great personality. Yeah, that's a preference. That's a preference, and that's normal. But when you're like, I'm never dating this person because she's a that's
Jada,
crazy,
that's so
you know?
crazy. That is so crazy. I feel like I'm just gonna start censoring us. Like, just,
Okay, well, maybe
we
censor
need
that
a
one.
censor button.
Yeah.
No, but that's like
What are your dating preferences?
me.
Mm-hmm.
What are mine? What? Why
Mm-hmm.
does it keep giving a thumbs up? I don't know. I don't. I just feel like kindness. I think that I am such like a affable. Like, of course, you like want to date someone that you're attracted to, but also I think like I'm so deeply traumatized by the queer community standards because the epitome is a white man. And it's like, if you're not that, but even then, there's like so many subsections of it, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But it's like, not only do you have to be a white man, but you have to be extremely masculine. You have to be fit. You have to be skinny. You have to be like, there's so many boxes that you have to check when it comes to queer dating that it's just like, at this point, I'm just gonna stay single. I'm fine where I'm at
Really?
because it's like, it's just not, it's really, really devastating and heartbreaking to kind of like get into the mode of talking to someone and you not even make it past 1 day or 2 days. You know what I mean? Which is why I freaked with Joey so much. Cause like he had no swag, none whatsoever. But I was talking to Deja about. First of all, she thought that
Wait,
Joey
was
was
Joey the white guy who
yes,
we went to the chicken place with?
yes, and she
Oh yeah,
mentioned
and
that.
he got real drunk and he took care of you. Oh.
Stop! Stop! Literally, that was a good ass night. I'm not gonna lie, like that was a really good night. I wish you had let me go home with him, but
You're drunk.
but Deja mentioned that too, where she was like, "Oh, he was like a really cool white dude. Like, she thought that he was blonde for whatever reason, but he had
He had
no.
brown hair, no?
Yes,
He was like tall and skinny.
yes. Now he's like he's fit. Anyway,
Joey, hit him up if you're watching this.
stop. I can't go back
Someone
there. I'm
misses
not
you.
gonna.
Come home. The kids are asking where their daddy is.
None of that. No.
Where is
Oh
he?
my gosh, stop. This is the thing.
Joey.
So like I also like super shy too. So like I'm very much so like if I like you, I really like and I really liked him. And no swag, but like he was so
No
confident.
sweat.
Just like none whatsoever. Boy could not dress. It was very like whoa. But across the board, tens. And it was like, wow, it was so rare to meet someone like him where he was like, not only was he for lack of a better word, woke, but he also cared about black topics, black subjects, what's going on in the black community. And then he was into music too. So he also recognized like, no, black people are carrying culture. Like that's what I like when they recognize
Me
like
too.
who is like not who's in charge, but like, dominant. I appreciate that. I have a high affinity for that. Because it's like not
Mhm.
you don't find that in the queer community. You get led on badly. You get and then or you
I
get
was gonna
like fetishized.
I was gonna ask, so how do you feel about the over sexualization of the queer community?
It's disgusting. It's like one of the biggest turnoffs in the world. And it's like, but like the sad part is that Black queer folks will go into that in a sense of trying to achieve some type of love or appreciation, right? They don't care because this may be a generalization. They don't care because they have been exiled for so long that if somebody says something fetishizing towards them, then it's like, I'm just gonna go for it because nobody else is hitting me up. Nobody else is, you know.
Sad.
It's really sad. It's actually genuinely sad. And it's like, you were talking on your story yesterday about how in
Mm-hmm.
society, like there's this thing where women are becoming proud of like collecting bodies or like whatever, like
And they base their self-worth on the number of bodies they get, and
yeah.
they make themselves feel more superior to a woman who is not collecting bodies or isn't getting that like male validation. It's just like,
Mhm.
no, it's just you guys are like giving out different energies and different auras. That doesn't make you better than or more attractive or more desirable. It's just you're
You're a
putting out an
whore.
energy of, okay, we don't slut shame.
I'm joking. I'm
We
joking.
don't like it, you don't put out like you're putting out an energy that's more promiscuous and seductive and flirty, right? So they're enticed. They want to talk to you because that's the energy given compared to the girl who's just not into it. She's like, yeah, she's being friendly, but she's not flirting. Of
Yeah.
course, he's not gonna want to try to take her home, you know? That
Mhm.
doesn't make you better than. Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, I was like, that's like because I had a similar thought when you said that. I was like, oh my gosh, this relates to how in the queer community, particularly in the black and brown, I don't know why it's like this, but like there's this like pride that's given where it's like, oh, I got with a DL man, or I'm sleeping with trade, or like da da da, da. And it's like this pedestal, like you were able to change somebody, like you're proud of that. But to me, it's like, been there, done that, never will do it again because it's like I'm not changing nobody and I'm not anybody's secret. You know what I
Do
mean?
you think that's like them holding pride to being able to, because like a guy who's a trader deal, they're not switching over. They're just in the closet. They're gay in the closet, right? And they couldn't accept themselves, but it's not like you're switching them over. It's like once you're gay, you're gay. Like there's no like, maybe I'm gay today, maybe I'm not, you know? It's not that. I think it's more just, do you think it's them just mocking the situation of he's still in the closet, he can't accept himself, so I'm gonna talk about it? Or is it like a I switched him out and I'm better than you because I got this straight guy to like want me?
I think it's a little bit of both. And I think
Okay.
it's like, it's difficult because half the time most DLs have a girlfriend or a wife
Oh,
or,
that's so sad.
oh, so you doing the bending.
That's what
Um,
you do in the minute.
And so it feels like anytime you get on social media and you see that, it's like, so are you proud that you're sleeping with a DL man? Like, is that like the goal? Like, so, okay, I granted, like, if he's not dating anybody or like, then do you be safe, obviously, but like, do you? But at the same time, it's like, no, like it's like James Charles. It's like that's an extreme example of it, but
What
like
about it?
like James Charles, like anytime somebody talks about James Charles or like mentions his scandals, there was always this notion of like, oh, he's proud to get with DL men or he's proud to be able to change straight men. But then it gives off predatory, like you're a predator. And then straight men are saying it's like a power dynamic essentially. Like, oh, the straight men or whoever he gets with will come out and be like, oh, I felt uncomfortable with it and da 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 da. And then there's this narrative that's created where it's like, oh, queer people are predators, gay people are predators, and they just prey on straight men and da 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 da. And it's like, okay, grant, I'm not shaming anybody.
Mm.
If they didn't do it, granted they were minors too. So like you know. But if you're of age, I think one, take accountability. Don't try and claim that queer people are predators. But I also think like this is why I don't endorse that whole DL trade thing because it's like it promotes that predator narrative. Like they're gonna switch up and say like, "Oh, I wasn't comfortable with it." Like, "Oh, I only did it." Da, 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 da. They pressured me to do it. Da, da, da. And then it
Mm.
comes back to bite people in the ass. It comes back to bite the queer community in the ass.
Yeah. You know, I actually like I have noticed that straight men, okay, I find it crazy. So straight men typically the really, really masculine, hyper masculine straight men, it only happens really with them where they don't want gay men around them because they fear being
Hmm.
preyed on,
Hmm.
right? They
You
fear
know,
they
like,
always just like cover their asses just in case
yeah,
like he's not gonna come up to you and hump your ass, like please. But
agreed.
imagine that, and I'm sorry to bring this up again, but imagine how women feel.
Yeah.
Like, so you as a hyper masculine man are afraid of being preyed on by a gay man, but you don't think there's an issue when a straight man is preying on a woman?
Hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
And then
clock
you
that
can't
T.
take
Oh, I
no.
can't believe I said that again. I'm so sorry. I'm not supposed
Yeah.
to say that.
You can't
But
take no for an answer. Well, it's also like that thing where it's just like I get in my head because if I find somebody attractive, I'm gonna say like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful." Da, 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 da. The other day, I told a guy he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so good looking. Like you have very unique features." Granted, I
hmm
don't know if he was straight or gay, but like, hopefully he doesn't read into that too deeply because it's like, no, in the same way, like if a man comes up and tells a woman like, "Oh, she's beautiful," it's just
hmm
that you have an appreciation for
yeah,
someone's appearance. It's not that I'm
it
trying to
just depends on how you say it, but for sure you can give a compliment without any underlining meaning.
without any underlying meanings. And I just think like that is just lost amongst queer dating. But also in queer dating, there's the polyamorous thing. They kind of like hop from bed to bed. It's just a lot. And I'm like,
hmm
yeah, no. No, thank you. That's why I'm just to myself, you know?
Do you remember that one house party that we made that we threw? Because we threw a few good ones. We threw a house party and Kayla's roommate, or no, Kayla's friend came to the party and overstayed their welcome. It was the friend and her boyfriend. And they overstayed their welcome. You went to bed. Kayla went to bed. I was ready to go to bed, but they were not there, so I wasn't going to go to bed with them two just staying like in the
At the
house.
house.
Kayla's best friend and this guy. So
Yeah.
I just like stayed up all night with them, waiting till they left because I was like, okay, guys, I'm getting tired. You guys can go now. But they were drunk, they weren't getting it. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to bed while these people are here.
Yeah.
And they just like asked me to have a threesome with them. This girl and her boyfriend. And I was like, okay, guys, you got to get out of this house.
Yes.
And then like, the guys started like touching my leg, and I was like, okay, you got to get out of this house. So then they left, and then they stole my Douce bottle. They they left, and I woke up in the morning. I told Kayla, and I was like, I felt so uncomfortable
Yeah.
with them because like she was like just like, yeah, like trying to get me to like do it and like hook up with her
Ew.
and her boyfriend. I'm like, first of
Yeah.
all, your boyfriend's ugly. Don't know where y'all been. Second of all, I'm
Okay.
not into girls. Even if your vagina was in my face, I wouldn't know what to do with it, you know? So
That.
I'm just like, and I'm sorry, I am the straightest of the straight. Like, I can't even kiss my girlfriends. Like,
Yeah.
my friend Akira, she's like, why don't you just give me a little kiss? And I'm like, no. I'm a little bit too straight.
Yeah.
But I have my fanny flutters for like two girls.
Stop saying
One
that,
to
please. Ew. Like I
I have
don't
my
want
fanny
to.
flutters for, and I was in high school, and this girl like cornered me in like my dance studio, and I started getting like those little butterflies because I thought she was cute, but I wasn't gonna
We're talking
explore
about
that.
our experiments. Oh
I
my
never experimented,
gosh. Oh.
but you can tell
So,
me about your experiments.
no, I knew who
I
I
told you I'm
was.
just too straight. I'm too straight to function.
I knew who I was from the age of 5. I was going into the bathroom with boys in like first grade and like we were kissing.
You little slut.
You little slut. Like,
This
oh
is
my gosh.
why I'm scared to send my children to school. It's because they're kissing people in the bathrooms.
Literally. Yeah, I was on that. But like then it just became this thing and like, oh my gosh, I
Oh,
probably shouldn't do that. But like also I was scared. I was so scared to be myself.
really?
But yes, because it's so terrifying. I
Oh, it
told
makes
my
sense. A
dad the
family
other
and
day,
everything.
like somebody called me the F slur, and I was so shook and I didn't know what to do. And he just sent me this paragraph and he was just like just be yourself. Like that's all you can do at the
So
end of
he's
the day.
getting good. He's getting good. I love this for you. He's trying, he's getting good.
No, like we had a very honest conversation about it because I texted him and I was just like, oh yeah, I already told my mom and like da 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 da. Because this boy that I'm like really crushing on right
The
now.
one
That
that you sent in that group chat.
yes.
Let me see
But
if he looks like again, but I'm not gonna show.
does show it. But
You
yes.
never told me about the situation.
Oh my God. Well, I don't want to tell you because like he may or may not watch this. And so like I don't want him thinking like you know.
No, we don't talk, don't give any details. But I'm looking for the text chain, but I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, but because like I was just like, oh, like if I
Mm.
do, isn't he so attractive?
You guys, oh, there's two different ones.
That one's
It's the
Joey.
same person. He
No, it's
looks like
not.
it's two different people.
Yes,
The one in the gym looks like a white man, and then the
it
one
is. That's Joey.
that is Joey. I
Because
thought they were
Deja
the same.
hadn't seen him in so long, and so I was like, oh, let me send a picture of
Okay, the one with in the yeah, he's
him.
cute. I say do it. Where does he live? Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah,
Just
no. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But
okay, but continue with conversation. You like the
no,
F
but
word.
I think like I was just saying that because I was like, if I wanted to bring somebody or like ever bring somebody around, like how would you feel? Because I already talked to my mom about it, and I just don't want to make you uncomfortable or make him uncomfortable with it or like X, Y, and Z. And he was just like, I don't care. Like, and I feel like, and I told him too, maybe I'm internalizing things, but it's just like now that I'm getting back out there, starting to date, maybe a little bit, like I just don't want any problems in my familial circles, you know?
Do you think this is trauma and like just fear from previous reactions that you have gotten?
Probably.
Also, why, so would you truly not bring someone around us if one person didn't like it?
Oh no, I think the only reason why, because our family is crazy, and so that would be the reason why I
Oh,
wouldn't.
yeah, I'm too scared to bring someone.
Yeah, that would be the
I
only
like that
reason.
person who the person I bring has to be like we're
Like
locked
really
in.
getting like,
Because given Uncle Tori and the way he questions people, oh.
oh my goodness, my dad side-eyeing everybody, and then Auntie
But they're
Jada,
still cool about
they're
it.
still cool, but it's like I don't want to be quite. When DeAndre came around, like that one
Oh,
time,
smoke? Yeah.
yeah, Smoke, sorry, came
No,
around.
his name is DeAndre, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because there's
yeah.
maybe we move on. So when smoke comes around, what?
He came around. And like it was just so it wasn't awkward, but it was just also like, who is this boy? Like what is he doing here? Like what and so it was
But Smoke and your dad already knew each other.
I didn't know that.
They had
That's kind of
met
crazy.
they had met at my dad's 49th birthday. Like he came to my dad's 49th birthday party and they had like I think it was his first time really around everyone because that was when Deja and him already started. I don't know. I don't want to tell their story. But
There was two times he came around. The
because
first
I
time
didn't know that they had already met because when at my dad's birthday, I was like, "Oh, they know each other?" And he's like, "Yeah, they know each other from around the way. Like they know people who know the same people." I don't
Orlando
know.
is too small. It's too small, especially for our family. Like it is just like way too small. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I get scared when it comes to dating, and I think that like I just prefer to keep that fantasy, not fantasy, but like that like precious thing in my head of just like this is what I want, my standards and like my boundaries, all those things, and like I don't want to settle because like it's not that I'm looking for a perfect person. It's just also like, hey, if I'm going to be with you, I'm going to be with you intentionally. And I
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're not feeling like your time is wasted. And even if we
Yeah.
break up, like I still want to be friends and like we can be the best of friends and like
Yeah.
we know each other extremely well, but like
Yeah.
all types of wells, you know?
Like a little like a well, like a hole in the ground, you
Like you
know.
see me naked type well. Like you see what my
He's seen the holes. He got the water come out the hole. Well, a well in the ground, water in the hole.
Ew! Stop. Wait, practice safe sex,
Yeah,
please.
absolutely. There's no other way.
Oh,
But
I
no, so like, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, you
No,
go. No, you
no,
go.
no,
No,
please, please,
please,
please,
please,
please, no,
please,
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 you go.
do,
Because
do.
I'm a yap queen. I be yapping. You
Hey, go ahead, yapper. I love a yap queen.
go.
Yap queen and yap queens. Which
Okay,
queens?
so I was gonna say I wanted to talk about because you brought up Orlando and how it's such a small space, right?
Hmm.
I've never run into anyone really from Orlando, but dating in Orlando is a hell of a basket, right? It's I love Orlando, it's beautiful, but especially being a
I think
black
you're.
girl
Hmm.
in Orlando and Florida where there's a bunch of Spanish people, like they are killers. They are
Gorgeous,
so colorist. Like it's not even funny. And everyone's always just like, okay, well, we've only seen you with white men.
yeah.
Do you think I only prefer white men? No, that's not the case. Do I like a white man? Sometimes, yeah. But like but being in Orlando, the black men, the Spanish men, they only want white girls and Spanish girls. Or if they want a black girl, she's light skinned. And then the black men who like me, they're like the Kodak blacks, you know?
Ew.
And I don't find Kodak Black attractive, you know? I don't like his lifestyle, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just like and you know, I remember we were having a conversation about our ratings, right?
Hmm.
And I was like, in Orlando, I'm a solid 4 in Orlando. And not in
Aww.
terms, and I'm saying not in terms of like how I look. It's more in terms of how I'm, desired, how I'm treated. Definitely like a solid 4 in Orlando. And or New York, I was like a New York 9, 8,
Yeah.
right? In Paris, I'm like a good 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. In Denmark, oh, yeah, I was up there. And it's so crazy how different cities have different preferences.
Yeah.
Different cities look for different things. Different cities find different. Oh, and DC. Oh, DC. There's so many attractive, beautiful, amazing, but bodacious,
Bodacious.
dark skinned women in DC.
Hmm.
Top tier. Those like they are wanted. They're taken. Like in DC, amazing. But because there's so many amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, dark skinned women, I'm just like, damn. There's just like cake all over the place. And there's so many a successful, funny, great black men in DC. So they're all linking up, and it was kind of
I
just
got
like
cold.
it was beautiful to see, right? Just
Hmm.
blackness just being celebrated and beautiful. But I felt because everyone was gorgeous there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't compare, but I can't compete
Yeah.
with these beautiful women over here, right? But, um,
You should go to
and that's why
LA.
you always just go, like, I remember, like, Ariana's always asking me, why don't I stay in Orlando? One, career-wise, not there. Two, I'm just like, I don't see myself growing a family in Orlando in terms of finding my soulmate in Orlando. Orlando's not where it's at for me.
Yeah.
I'm not wanted. I go where I'm wanted.
Hmm.
If I'm not wanted somewhere, I don't go there.
You go where the
And
love
that's
is. You go where the love is.
I go where the love is. And that's honestly so sad to think about. And it also sounds very shallow because I don't want to feel as if I'm basing how I feel on my physical looks and how
Hmm.
I'm treated. But sometimes that's what you have to do, right?
Hmm.
Go somewhere where you
You're
have
more appreciated.
you have potential.
Yeah. I think
In
that,
that
yeah.
terms in potential in terms of career and relationship and money and wherever else, like whatever you're looking for.
Yeah. I think two things. One, I think that point is exactly why I don't do dating apps anymore because I already know that like bottom tier, cesspool, hell, queer dating apps. But then two, this is gonna be like very, very not controversial, but this is why me and the Latino community, even though I have Latino friends, I have such a hard time with them. Like it's just so hard to mesh with the Latino community
Why?
because I like Latino men, but they, like you said, can be so colorist and so racist sometimes. And I think that after living in New York too, they really overstep their boundaries at times. And it's just, I've just been so deeply traumatized by Latino men that I'm just like,
What happened?
I just can't.
Story time
Story time? Story time?
for
I
you.
don't know. I don't know. There was this boy, his name was Santiago. I don't think he's gonna watch it. The boy named Santiago. Known him since high school. When I first saw him freshman year, I've known this boy all 4 years of high school. That's kind of crazy. Saw him freshman year. Thought this was my soulmate. Thought this was my little boo thing. Really like was obsessed with him. It's crazy enough. We had classes together all 4 years. And each time when you talk about somebody that would lead me on, and then the second he would find somebody else, it was so traumatizing for like 15-year-old me. But like the second he would like find somebody else, I was like dust in the wind. And so it comes to back to that point about fetishization and like I'm good enough for you to sleep with, but not good enough for you to date. And I think that has been like a very common thread in the Latino, queer Latino community that I just don't vibe with. It's so hard.
Really?
Just don't, I can't do it anymore. Like
I
I,
don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about that. That's interesting to hear. I've dated a few, no, probably like two or three Spanish dudes. When I say date, let's make this clear, okay?
what is
Dating,
dating? What is
okay,
dating?
there's talking, dating,
Gosh.
relationship, right? But then there's
Hmm.
also, you can just be like situation hooking up, right? So talking is when you have not gone on any dates. You've probably met once. You're just texting, getting to know each other, right?
Hmm.
Dating is when you start actively going on dates. You're seeing the person in person, you're seeing the person in person, you're just hanging out, you're dating them. And it's
Hmm.
not even just dating in terms of we're in a relationship, because a relationship is like we had the conversation where we're exclusive. Um, I'm your boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend, you're my boyfriend. When it
Hmm.
comes to seeing each other, that's still part of dating. When it comes to I'm exclusive, that's like relationship basically.
Hmm.
I don't like to take in all of these random little terms. Talking, dating, relationship. Those are my three. And then there's a situationship where
Wow.
you're like, it's a lot. A situationship is where you're dating and you're having sex and you guys are being boyfriend and girlfriend to each other, but you're not exclusive. You're not in a relationship.
So what's the point?
What is the point? I think you should go from dating straight into a relationship. There is no situationship because situationships very rarely end up back to friendship or in a relationship. You just kind of get stuck in this little limbo.
Yeah.
And
But
I've
also,
had my fair share of situationships and I'm just traumatized from them.
yeah.
And I do not see myself getting, not that I don't see myself, I am never going to get myself into another situationship. It's either you're taking me seriously or I take you seriously. We're together or we're not. And it is what it is. I'm not doing the situationship. There's this one dude, and he's probably gonna end up watching this. He lives here in Paris. I feel like he's been trying to get into a situationship, but not really because he's too scared to meet in person.
Hmm.
And we've met in person, but it's a no-go. All my friends hate him. Like I'm not even allowed to say his name in my friend group. But
Okay.
he's so fine.
I believe
He
you.
he's so fun.
There's
Oh my
something
God.
about European men that just like
No,
it's
don't
Fanny,
romanticize them. Don't
Fanny and
romanticize
Tina.
them. Do not romanticize them. French
Um,
men are way worse than these Americans. Americans are like a little bit more romantic. These Frenchmen
really?
have no sense of romance at
Really?
all, unless you're a French girl. But for the most part, the French girls are like, yeah, no, it sucks out here. It sucks. It's
Damn.
really bad in France. Like they suck.
No.
They're the princesses. They want you to make the plans. They want you to do everything. They are just along for the ride.
Oh, so real life passenger princesses.
They are real
Mm.
life pastors because they're like, oh, I'm French. I'm French.
They listen
No,
to
they know
Jemeryas.
they actually suck.
That's what Jemeryas. Oh my
Huh?
goodness. I also think because we're like, well, I'm 27, you're practically 30. I think we have.
We're only 3 days apart, but yeah, go off, sis.
I think we have like we're just in a different phase of life when it comes to dating. Like I think we just have different standards. Like the situationship has to like the situationship has sailed. Like we're not on board with that. But like I think people that are younger than us are like still on board. Like they're
Oh,
like young, dumb, and
I was
smart.
in a situationship every month.
But that's
I
like
found myself in endless situationships. I had a list of all my situationships. A list.
I
A
remember that, and you
list.
would show me, and I was just like, I think
A
because I just
list.
hold on. We need to take a commercial break, and then I'm gonna come back. You mentioned your list, and I think this goes back to why when I first moved to New York, I was very like shy and like very Puritan because I came from like a Christian background. Granted, I was still discovering that I was queer, but like I came from a very like religious background and like hearing the word situationship is crazy to me be coming from that because I'm just like, well, at that point, like, why would I might as well just get married to you. Like, you just don't want to be with me. You just want all the perks of the car without actually owning the car. Like, you don't want to fill up the tank. You don't want to pay for insurance. You don't want to do maintenance. You don't want to learn how to take care of. You just want the car. You just want to be
Mhm.
able to like. I just don't like that. And I'm like, when you mentioned your list and you showed me, I was just like, Jada, this is. And I was very judgmental. I'm not like that now. But I was like, Jada, what the fudge? Why do you have this many people on your body count? Like, it's
We're actually not doing that. That's gonna be cut out because of
no,
no, I'm
that's
not.
no,
No,
not that big. But it wasn't a crazy. No, no, no,
no,
no, no, no. It was
no,
not a
no.
crazy number. It was not anything wild. It wasn't. But like for me, I'm giving
He
myself
made it seem
like
like I'm out here thotting him.
no.
Why do you have that so many people in your body count?
No,
Whoa,
but for
whoa, slut shamer.
religious judgment. I was
It
like,
wasn't that much, by the
it
way.
wasn't. It really wasn't. But for
It just
me,
he was a
it
little
was.
prude.
I was a prude. I was a real life prude, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. I'm very much so traditional in that regard, where like I'm going out on a date and you like want to. It's just the spiritual, but like you're very spiritual. And I think that's what my question is going to be: is that not how do you rationalize that, but like if you plan on sleeping with somebody, and like do you believe that like in soul ties and like all that stuff?
Yeah. So when I was going through my little hoe phase, it happened right after I moved to New York, right? I was by myself for the first time, you know?
Mhm.
And at that time I was 17, 18, just young and dumb and stupid. Um, yeah, and I had my little hoe phase. And I think in the moment I wasn't spiritual. I
Mhm.
was more just kind of just like, okay, well, I'm free. I can do what I want, you know, because I lost keep in mind, I lost my virginity very late. Not very late, very moderate, right? It was like I was going to graduate high school in a few months, right? I had my first kiss. You had your first kiss, you said 3 years old. I had my first kiss when I was like 15,
Mhm.
right? I was just a really good girl. But when I left the house, I was kind of just like I had free will. I was doing the fun dating, you know, I was going out, but I did believe in soul tie. I didn't believe in soul ties, but I felt like something was wrong with me, and I felt like I had to prove to myself that nothing was wrong with me, which prompted me to go on all of these dates and just like meet people and, you know, like sleep with whoever I slept with, right? But as I got older, I definitely started believing in this in soul ties much more. And then you really get into limerence if you sleep with someone without protection. That's the whole
Mhm.
soul tie situation, right?
Mhm.
And then you have to break it, and it's just it's this whole ordeal. Um, but yeah, I think now I'm like celibate, because I'm not interested in giving someone myself. I'm not interested in letting some random person touch me. I would much rather be celibate because there's no one, but like Julia Fox said, there's no like more women are not wanting to participate because the men now just aren't worth it. Be
Yeah.
more worth it to want, you know. Um I just don't find anyone worth it right now. And because I am diving more into spirituality and my relationship with God, I think that urge is kind of just like slowly slipping out of me.
Mhm.
And like there are moments where I'm like, that would be nice right now. Who did I already hook up with that I could hook up with so I don't get a new body, you know? But then you're like, is it really worth it? And it's never ever worth it in the end because you end up feeling empty. You end up feeling worse than you felt before because you know that horniness, like it's like not even your brain
Mhm.
talking. And then once it's gone, you're like, that post-nut clarity, you know?
Oh my
And
gosh, yeah.
yeah, so I feel like here, being in Paris, I'm just like, I don't like it. And it's so funny because I remember my friends were having a conversation about me, and they're like, how does she do it? How does she like hook up with all these guys? And one of my other friend was like, Jada doesn't actually hook up with guys. I think she just goes on the dates. She'll give them a quick kiss, but she doesn't fully hook up with them. Because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the capacity to like bring someone into my energy and my spirit and my body anymore.
Hmm.
I don't like how it feels afterwards.
Hmm.
And sometimes even, and I remember, sometimes even during it, I remember one time I started crying in the middle because I just, it felt so icky. It was like, this isn't who I am.
Oh,
This isn't what I want. I
yeah,
want like something serious. And I'm just like
yeah.
doing this meaningless hookup with this person I barely even know. Like, granted, like we knew each other, but we don't really know each other. You know what I mean? And in the process, I just started crying, and I was like, "This isn't." Mm-mm. And I think that came with me growing up, becoming more mature,
Hmm.
um, falling more into my spirituality and my relationship with God, like I said before, and knowing what I want and respecting not respecting myself more because that's slut shaming. We don't do that here. It's more just I am realizing what I want now and I'm respecting that.
Hmm.
So I'm respecting myself in terms of um continuing and fulfilling what I want
Hmm.
rather than just like, okay, I know what I want, but this one time won't hurt. If that makes sense.
So does that mean that you're becoming a prude? Because like,
No.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Mm-mm. Again, I'm not a prude. I think sex is beautiful and anyone can do with their body with what they want as long as it's consensual and it's not hurting anyone. Truly, I don't care. And that's a conversation I had on Instagram was not slut shaming anybody. It was like just
Yeah,
don't put yourself in a position of power because you sleep with more people. That's not what it is because there's some people out there who just don't want it,
yeah.
you know?
That's
But
that's
yeah, no, I just I am grateful for the little time I had, my little whole phase when I was younger. And it honestly taught me, I think I wouldn't be where I am right now emotionally if I didn't go through that whole phase.
really.
hmm And I think that's where that slight, even though I'm still slightly immature, I think that's where that slight maturity comes from when it comes to dating, is
Mhm.
because I went through my whole phase. I've seen it, I've done it, I've been around it, experienced it. I've been traumatized. I've been made a fool of. I've made a fool of people, you know? And you don't really get to a certain level of existence within yourself without going through shit or, you know.
Yeah, because you're getting older, you're becoming more comfortable in your own self and standard. If I'm assuming correctly. I don't know. Like I said, I've only ever been in like one relationship, and like that was a train wreck. Like I fall. Me and my friend were just talking about that. Like when I fall for someone, I fall hard. And so
No,
it's
that's
never
so cute. Me too.
it is, but it's not because then I'm like staying up all night creating this scenario in my head of just like, oh, like what's the like if we have kids, like what's the marriage, like wedding, da 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 da. But it's like, oh my goodness, I've just gotten attached to somebody, and then it creates this fantasy or this idea of a person, not the actual person. And
Excuse
then
me.
when like you actually start hanging around that person more, it becomes this thing of just like, oh, I might not actually like you. I like the idea of you. And I like this person that I built in my head, and you're not actually that.
Spot on.
You know.
Spot on, mother trucker. Spot on. And that's the idea of um um that's the idea of we were talking about last episode of potential. I
Yeah.
don't really like you, but I like your potential. I like who I think that you
Yeah.
are. I like what I think you're who I think you're gonna become. And I think that's been a lot of how I dated.
Hmm.
I don't like when I look back, I didn't actually there's only a few of them I actually liked. I actually liked Trevor. I actually liked Trevor. I actually liked what's his name? The Australian one. The one who went on a date with Shamara. Phil. I actually liked Trevor. I actually liked Phil. I actually liked there's a few little ones in there that I actually liked, but then the
Bogdan.
rest were just who?
Who? Huh?
You said someone? Bogdan? Yes, he was my first love, my
Oh,
first
good.
everything.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I
He was
love
the first
him.
person I actually found like I no, not fell in love with. Loved. He was the first person I, lost my virginity to, you
Yeah.
know. Dylan, I actually liked Dylan, but doesn't matter. But no, but for the rest of them, I it was just all potential, and then you would just sit back and you look at them, you're like, no. Like Rory. I don't really like Rory like that.
Rory was a dick. He made you cry on your birthday, bro. I'll never forget that.
He made me cry on my birthday. Like we were how are you mad at me? You're not gonna tell me happy birthday all day. All day, made me
Ew,
cry.
that's.
And then I call you, I screamed him out. I hate you. My friends hate you. My therapist hates you. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Our mini drunk nights outside of, what is it, Vine and that entire strip. Maybe.
what?
Was it Vine next to the Supreme store? There was like a
Oh,
Supreme
no,
and
that was Sweet and Vicious, the little pink one, Sweet and Vicious, and then
yeah.
across the street was it's gonna come to me.
It's
And
like
then the one that's on Houston, I believe. The one that like it was like you would go inside and it was the red seats. And then
Botanica?
huh?
Botanica?
Botanica. We used to fuck Botanica
Oh
up. And
yes.
then I was friends with the bartender, so she would always give us free shots and drinks.
Literally, who needs romantic relationship when you have good friends that you can just give
We had a
to?
time like I think in that moment when it was me and you and Kayla, I didn't really need to talk to anybody. I had us. It had us.
Yes,
It was so
literally.
fulfilling.
So
We were so fulfilled. And then our brunch day, when we go to brunch
oh
at
my
Green on
gosh.
Verd or Verd on Green or something
Yes,
like that.
birthday.
Verde.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah, it was amazing.
gosh, bro. Ugh. I think that's probably the most fulfilling part. Like if I am fulfilled in my friendships, I will never need a relationship. Like I probably will never need something romantic. Cause like
But
I
do you know what? Okay, but I agree, but I disagree because those relationships are two different, very different relationships, and they fulfill different parts of you, right? So I'm not expecting my friends to fulfill a void that I feel without a partner, and I don't expect my partner to fulfill a void that I feel with my friends, right? Because I'm also not the girl who's like, once I'm with someone, I'm cutting my friends out.
yeah,
No, because that person
exactly.
isn't feeling the same void that my friends feel,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So it's just like to me, it's different. Like just because I have great friends, I still want to cuddle. I still want to kiss. I still want to go on dates. I still want to bay and boo. My friends aren't gonna do like, yes, I can take myself on dates. Yes, my friends can take me on dates and take them on dates and all
Yeah.
of the things. But it's just there are other things that need fulfilling that my friends can't fulfill. And vice versa.
My host
They play two different roles. And that's
can take
okay.
me
It's
out
okay.
anytime.
Huh?
My hoes can take me out anytime.
You know,
Hoes by friends. I don't mean hoes. I mean hoes friends.
I love that.
HEAUX. Friends.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening to the What Now podcast. It's always such a pleasure having you guys. I hope you are feeling inspired or we're filling a certain void in a conversation that you've yet to have with your friends and your family and
Sorry.
your friends and your family and your loved ones. Continue having hard conversations as we obviously love to do, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, bitches.
Bye. Oh, I just did peace sign. No, I keep doing a peace sign. Bye.